Hey, what's up YouTube? Casey here, and today we're going to be taking a look at my brand new Utapau MOC. So this is obviously based off of Revenge of the Sith, and we can see a lot of the 212th here. And yeah, so this is actually going to be the first MOC in a series of MOCs that I'm making. Going to make a lot of the different fights that we see throughout that movie, and also from the Clone Wars TV show as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you all this, and let's go ahead and dive into the build. So if you don't remember from the movie, this planet specifically has a bunch of different sinkholes in it, and there's like a bunch of different civilizations built inside of the holes of the planet. And so this kind of idea that I had was to build a hallway that was kind of lodged inside of the side of one of these sinkholes. And so as you can see here, we got a lot of the 212th on one side of the hallway aimed down at a crab droid that's coming down the hall. So I think what we should start out talking about here is how I designed the rock work. So obviously my idea, like I said, was to have this stuck inside of one of the walls in the side of the sinkholes. And so having this little border around the bottom and the sides of the build just to invoke that it's kind of inside of the rock, I thought would be a good idea. So you can see I used a lot of snot or studs not on top techniques to build up this layer of about 2 bricks on their sides with just some slope pieces and also a couple plant pieces littered throughout it just to give a little bit more color. And then I also stacked some plates onto it that would kind of bleed into the ground floor where all the troops are, just so it would look more natural, you know, like the rock works kind of encasing the build. Now I did actually consider also having a roof with some rocks on top of it, but I just felt like even though that would really make the build seem enclosed off by the rock and everything, you just couldn't really see everything going on the inside. It would cover a lot of the things up, so I ended up leaving it open at the top, and I like how that came out. But let's go ahead and talk about the minifigures that I have here and how I've kind of posed them up. So when posing the figures here, I wanted to do something that I've never done in a MOC before, which is make sure the figures are posed in really unique ways to make them really seem like dynamic and not just stagnant in the build. And so you can see with one of the troopers here, 2 of them actually, I have their legs pulled off. One's sitting down in the corner and one's also kind of in a sniper, like bent down type position. And I just thought this really made the figures look more alive and like, you know, they're actually participating in the battle instead of just having them stand there, you know, with their guns facing forward. So I really like how that came out. I have a couple other troops here. We have Commander Cody, obviously, with his gun up in the air. And we have a couple other troops with grenades. And one of them's kind of hiding behind the wall. He's a little scared to get out and fight that crab droid, I guess. His buddy's about to get destroyed, so hope he's okay. But yeah, I really like how I pose the figures and everything. This crab droid especially, I like how I have like kind of its arm up in the air, like he's kind of gonna come down and stab this guy. So like how that came out. Other than that though, some of the other decorations you can see behind some of the troopers, I added a couple crates, and one of them I really like how I built. It has a Lego dice piece, and instead of using the pieces that are normally used on it, I just have some 2x2 tiles placed on it. And that just keeps it makes a nice like square crate with some black borders on it, which looks cool. And then I also have some other cases that have grenades held inside of them. Moving on to the walls though, you can see most of them are kind of just big plates that are propped up with tiles on them. So it's a pretty simple design, but I like how it came out. You know, I got a couple studs on there too, just so it doesn't get too boring with just a big gray wall. But the coolest part of the wall, I think, is this door design that I have going on. And I've gotten this idea off of some other MOCs that I've seen on like Instagram and some other places, but it's using just a lot of different snot techniques to make a door design that's really unique and has like almost a separatist logo looking type design on it. And if you can take the door off right here, you can see how I kind of have a bunch of different cheese slopes fit into it and a lot of other stuff just to make this cool design. And it's not very stable or anything. You know, Lego could never put this in a set just because, you know, you can kind of tap it and the whole thing breaks. But when it's just, you know, up on a shelf sitting still, like it looks really cool like this. So yeah, I'm really happy how that came out. That's one of my favorite parts of this build. And I think it just adds something really unique to it. But other than that, let's take a little closer look at this crab droid that we got going on here. So this crab droid is an original design by me, and I am really happy with how this came out. I just think it looks so great, and it's one of my first times designing a separatist, I guess, droid or vehicle, whatever you want to call it. And I actually got the idea for the eyes. You can see it uses a lipstick piece that minifigures use actually. The underside has that little red peeking through still that just works so well for the eyes. And I've never seen someone use this for a crab droid, but I have seen it used on a droidica or a destroyer droid before. And I just saw what the crab droid looks like and I wanted to make it. I was like, well, I've seen that before, and that piece just works so well for this. So whoever got the idea off the droidica, you know, great job, because I implemented that here and I'm just really happy with how that came out. Other than that though, it's pretty simple. It's nothing too crazy. The feet are a little weirdly designed since I kind of have to have slope pieces facing in both directions on the sides of the feet, so kind of had to get a little creative there. But other than that, it's just a lot of different hinge pieces just to make the legs have a lot of different articulation points and attach them to the body, and that's about it. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see some other MOCs and future videos that I have planned, then make sure you subscribe. But with that all said, remember that Christ is King, and may the Force be with you.